Hey everybody, you got Specs here, and today we're going to be talking about my Week 9 matchup against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Well, let's just get right into it. Screw the intros. Alright, so first off, against Columbus Blue Jackets draft team, we got Zero Aura. Now, I've already talked a lot about Zero Aura in like a past draft, but man, still really good even in a national dex format. Base 143 speed allows you to outspeed a lot of threats, namely Dragapult, which you're exactly one base speed point over. Voltazorb is a very nice ability, allowing you to have an electric immune. And let's see, well, it's got a lot of good coverage. Blaze Kick, Close Combat, Plasma Fist is signature move. And then you're going to knock off as well, Play Rough, Outrage, all that type of stuff. And then, on the special side, you got Aura Sphere, obviously Thunderbolt, and Grass Knot. And then you also have Bulk Up and Calm Mind, so you can set up on both sides of the spectrum. So it makes it a very, is a very offensive threat in that regard. There's like a little bit of utility you can do with it. You probably make it like, since it's so fast, like there are going to be some teams you fight against where like you don't even need to run speed at all. So like maybe you can have like a max HP variant and try to do some defensive stuff with knockoff and toxic. But generally speaking, offensive will generally serve you well, especially when both good attack stats and subpar bulk. So yeah, that's Aurora. Next up we got Glasgow. You know him, you love him. I don't like him. I only don't like him because I sucked at fighting against him when I first started out in Sun and Moon. So, but Poison Heal, Toxic Aura, that's very standard Glasgow. Being able to heal double leftovers every turn is really, really good. Technically it's less reliable than leftovers because, at least on the first turn, because you could lose your Toxic Aura to knockoff or get status before Toxic Aura poisons you. But if you disregard that, 1/8 HP every turn is really, really good. There's a reason why Rain Ditch Tentacruel and Black White OU was so damn good, just because being able to heal double the leftovers, you would combine that with Protect. That's a quarter of your health every 2 turns, and it's basically mostly safe. So it's really crazy, like how much. I talk a lot about how chip damage is really important too, and Glasgow, immune to spikes, immune to sand, only takes neutral from rocks. Like this thing is the epitome of like taking very little chip damage and gaining a lot of small bits of health in return. In terms of sets, excuse me. In terms of sets, you got both Stealth Rock and Default, so you can do either side for hazard control. Obviously Earth over there. Knockoff is also really nice for utility. You also got U-turn for momentum as well. Another set you could run is Swords Dance. It does have both Fire Fang and Ice Fang, so decent coverage, and also gets Facade, which combines really nicely with Toxic Orb. So you can run like a little bit of an offensive set with Glasgow as well. It also gets Roots too. Yeah, it just does. And yeah, that's pretty much all you gotta say with Glasgow. I guess Tailwind is also a notable thing you could try to run. Yeah, stats are pretty decent. Spin up bulk is a little bit lacking, but again, Toxic Orb, Poison Heal, super, super good. It lets you take a lot of special hits if you invest in spin up, like seriously, because just being able to heal up so much is so great. And obviously, it's really good. It has a decent speed stat for something that's pretty tanky. So yeah, you can run Taunt as well. Yeah, you can run Taunt to like Solid Break as well. Yeah, that's really good. Next up we got Scizor, the Mega. It's really, really good. Like one of the best megas. Like, this thing also pissed me off a lot in Sun and Moon, just because didn't run teams that had ways to deal with Mega Scizor. Not a lot of fire moves on my teams back then. But yeah, like look at these stats. They're absolutely amazing. Really good bulk. The only thing lacking is that small HP, but like seriously, it's still really good. And at 150 base attack, combined with Technician and Bullet Punch, absolutely terrifying. Also gets U-turn for momentum, also gets Swords Dance if you want to sweep, gets knockoff as well, superpower, Roost. This thing is amazing. It also gets Curse as well, which is actually a really interesting option for it. It's just, if you're going to be relying on Bullet Punch to kill, you can just Curse. It's basically bulk up. So, yeah, it's really, really, really good. Takes a lot of hits well thanks to its really good typing. Yeah. Yeah, this is it's annoying. And oh yeah, by the way, this thing like 6-0's my team, no questions asked. Just because like I don't have any fire moves on my draft team, so it's really, really threatening in that regard. So yeah. Anything else to know? think it's dual wing beat, I guess. No pursuit because we don't have that in this format. But yeah, I guess dual wing beat for other coverage, I guess. Yeah. Next up we got Toxic Effect. Yet another annoying Pokemon. Look at this 3-mon defensive core. Absolutely amazing core he has here. Yeah, we all know Toxapex. The bastard. You know, he's got Regenerator, like a pretty good typing in Water Poison. It's gonna have those amazing defensive stats, and you know, it's subpar HP, but like, still gonna be able to take like freaking you know, Earthquakes from Landorus T and like Psychics from, I don't know, Alakazam. Well, probably doesn't take Alakazam Psychic, but yeah, you know, Toxapex very, very, very good at taking hits. But with regen, it takes it even better. And also has Recovered. I think it recovered. I don't know. It's just a lot of things. You know, and it's not as passive as you think, because you know, it has Haze to prevent setup against it, and it also has Scald and Knockoff. You know, two things that can cripple sweepers. Well, physical sweepers definitely don't like taking Scald, and Knockoff can also remove important items as well. So X is like a very, very good wall in that regard. Just be able to exert a good amount of pressure with just, you know, some utility moves. And, you know, not to mention that it also gets, you know, obviously Toxic, and it's going to be 100% accurate thanks to its Poison typing. And it also gets Toxic Spikes as well. Painful Bunker is also an interesting option. Very, very good. Poison Jab is also used to deal with stuff like Copperpini as well. So, yeah, it's really, really versatile. Like, in terms of, like, more gimmicky sets, it can potentially run, like, Choice Band, Choice Specs. Because, you know, it's more for the surprise factor. People don't expect it, and then you might be able to nab a surprise KO, but, like, again, less consistent than the standard set. So, yeah, Pex, very, very solid here. Next up, we got Pangoro. Very, very scary offensive mon here. You might think, like, well, it's pretty slow. And yes, you're right. And it doesn't have that much bulk, which, again, yes, you're right. So, base 124 attack. And, oh, yeah, you might think, like, base 124. You know, I've seen higher. You know, Kartana's got that base 181. But fighting Dark Stab is really, really threatening. Especially since, like, only fairies really try to kind of switch in on that, and then you get, you know, you get Iron Head, you get Gunk Shot, you get both punch. You have many ways to get fairy types. And Scrappy is also an amazing ability as well, to be able to hit ghost types. So like, even ghost types don't want to switch in on a predicted fighting move because, you know, they die. Even if you don't want to run Scrappy, you can run Iron Fist as well to just boost your punching power, and really, really good. Moltbreaker could also be interesting as well. Maybe like hit like a run and watch with an Earthquake, I guess, something like that. But yeah, very, very threatening Pokemon here. Yeah. In terms of, you know, moves it got, you know, it's got Close Combat, it's got Knockoff, you know, very standard, and then, you know, Earthquake, Fire Punch, a bunch of other moves. You can experiment with it a lot, but like, you know, it's just Choice Band, and just hit things as hard as you can, and that's what you want to use in Pangoro. Obviously, with the Choice Pokemon, it's going to be very prediction reliant, but like, who cares? you're just doing so much damage. I also get Source Dance too, actually. So you could run a Source Dance like Life Orb set with Source Dance for your attack set, like Close Combat, Knockoff, and Bullet Punch for Speed Control. So yeah, Pangoro, very, very offensive mon, very, very scary. Next up, we got Alakazam, also very offensive. Unfortunately, it has 0 bulk, unlike Pangoro, who has at least a little bit. Well, it doesn't have 0 bulk. It can take some special hits, but you know, defense-wise, you know, it's gonna get blown away by a tackle, right? So obviously with the Magic Guard, you got that Magic Guard Life Orb synergy combo, very, very solid there, and it's got an amazing move pool. You know, it's Gen 1 Pokemon, so usually they have really good move pools. You know, Psychic, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, Dazzling Gleam, Recover, and it got Nasty Paw this generation, which made its Mega get banned to Ubers. So yeah, Energy Ball as well, and then you know, there's a lot of utility as well. You got Encore, you got Counter, Disable. It gets Thunder Wave, yeah, right. Of course it gets Thunder Wave. I forgot about you more. But yeah, Trick as well if you want to trick like Choice Specs onto someone too, and you can run Sash as well. Since it has Magic Guard, you know, and it's actually really frail, you know, Sash Counter is pretty viable on this mon, just because like you can keep your Sash throughout a lot of things. You know, you don't get your Sash by hail, hazards, sand, all that type of stuff, and then you know, you can switch in on like a double or something, or just come in safely after a Pokemon dies and just get a Sash Counter off and just do a lot of damage if not kill something. So yeah, very solid. Next up we got Salazzle, the Steel Killer, even against Heatran, just because Toxic Sub Protect is a very, very solid strategy. Yeah, because Corrosion lets it poison literally anything, and then, you know, well, first off, Steel Guys don't want to comment on it anyway, but even if Kyurem were to comment on it, you Toxic it, you Substitute, Protect, Sub Protect, Sub Protect, Sub Protect, and then with like Black Sludge, you know, you won't be losing too much health over time, and then, you know, Kyurem's gonna die. So like, yeah, this is like a very standard set you see here. It also has access to Nasty Plot, so you can definitely do stuff like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the most wide loophole in terms of Nasty Plot sweeping. You know, you got Flamethrower, you got Poison Moves as well, but you know, you don't get a lot outside of that. It kind of has to rely on Hidden Power, and it doesn't really have that anymore in this generation. In terms of utility besides Toxic, you know, you still have Knockoff to get rid of items. You have Taunt as well, and you also have... I actually did not know I did not know Salazzle and Thunder, but that could be interesting in Wisp as well. So yeah. Next up, we got Serena. Pretty decent spinner here. Decent, okay bulk and a good attack with okay speed. Yeah, it's a decent spinner. You know, you can run like boots, and then you put spin, and then it's got a decent amount of coverage as well. If you want to run like a choice band set, you know, it got knockoff, HJK, power whip, got triple axle in this generation, which is really nice for it. Player off as well. So yeah, it's got a. Oh yeah, it also has U-turn. Yeah, so this thing has a pretty decent physical football actually. Yeah, spinning and being, you know, like offensive pressuring, it's good coverage. That's definitely what you can do with that. Last up, we got Lunatone, a little bit short of the Mons here, just because he has so many good ones here, so it makes sense that he has a little bit less Pokemon compared to other people. With this, you can definitely try just like a defensive set. Levitate lets you ignore the ground, your ground immune, so that's good. You can try like defensive set, but like Toxic and like Stealth Rock and stuff like that. Another one you could do is offensive and Meteor Beam, just because like every rock type is just gonna be running this Meteor Beam strat. Even non-rock types are gonna be running Meteor Beam power strat. Just it's fun. It's very fun. And sometimes you can get a lot of cool kills with it. You know, so you got Meteor Beam, and it's got decent coverage. It has Earth Power, Psychic, obviously, Boom Blast, Grass Knot, which is good for the ground types. Even though you do have Levitate, but like, you know, it's still good coverage for ground types. You know, you don't want to be like whirlwinded by a Hippowdon or whatever. Shadow Ball, Signal Beam, yeah, you can do that. I guess another thing you could do is Trick Room, although his team is a little bit too fast to be doing stuff like that. I guess it'd be good for Pangoro and maybe Scizor, but you know, I guess Trick Room could be a solid strategy as well. So yeah, that's his team overall. So, you know, what I thought he was going to bring, you know, I was thinking like, okay, Gliscor and Mega Scizor are definitely going to be coming just because Mega B is can be a problem. So I would expect him to bring both of those. And I said before, Mega Scizor like completely destroys me. So, you know, want to watch out for that. Let's see here. Zeraora, I thought it could be brought as well. I'll show you my team. Like, Zeraora could be brought as well, just because, like, I know I have a Lando T, but, like, you can knock it off, you can Toxic it, you can still pressure it a lot, and I think, like, you can also run, like, Grass Knot or, like, Special if you think I'm going to run something else. Not Special, it's not Spit Off Lando T, but I do. But, yeah, I think Zeraora could be still pretty decent, so I thought that could also be brought. I think Pex was okay, but it lost him too much momentum. And plus, I have a lot of mons at third and not. I mean, if you look at my team that I brought, Sigilift switches in on it basically for free. You know, the only thing it worries about is losing its life orb to knockoff. But like, other than that, like, who cares? Like, I'm coming in every time I put the second. You know, Rotom Wash and Lando T both hit it super effectively. Kyurem hits it super effectively. You know, you got even Hoopa has psychic moves. Like, and this Bewear that I haven't shown you yet, but it does actually, it probably could beat a Toxapex too. So like, literally every single mod on my team could beat Toxapex, so I didn't think he was going to bring that. Pangoro I thought was a really solid breaker on his end, so I thought he would just bring like a choice band Pangoro with Scrappy so he can ignore Intimidate from Lando T. Alakazam was also really solid here, so I thought he was going to bring that as well. And then by the last, I thought he was just going to bring Salazzle last just to get some Toxics off. But it's also, Salazzle also pretty good as offensive sweeper too, so not something too bad there. Yeah. So basically, Zeraora, Gliscor, Mega Scizor, Pangoro, Alakazam, and Salazzle. So this is the team that I built. First off, we have like a Spin. It's mixed EVs, Lando T, but this time it's focused more on Spin F. You know, just being able to take like some hits from Salazzle and whatnot, and be able to Earthquake it back. Pretty standard outside of that. Earthquake, Self Rock, Knockoff, U-turn, lefties. Next up, we got a Rotom Wash, also a little mixed spread, but this one was a fake one. I just kind of put some EVs in a spit out. Just Willis, also Shiver Pump, and Pain Split, very standard again. Next up, we got some heat here. All right, we got Sunny Day Kyurem. So I know, you know, Mega Scizor like would love to switch in on a Kyurem. So I was thinking like if I can set up a Sunny Day on Hidden Prime Predict Freeze Dry, and then, you know, I Weather Ball. That's gonna do some damage, you know? Because, you know, if he's not running attack EVs on his Mega Scizor, and he usually didn't, judging from his other replays, like, I think, like, Weather Ball is just, like, Weather Ball plus Freeze Dry is just really scary for him to switch into, so pretty good on that end. Earth Power as well as nice coverage for Salazzle, which does take the combination of Weather Ball and Freeze Dry. So, yeah, kind of heat Kyurem. Next up, we got Sigilin. Very standard 3 attack Life Orb Roost set. And then I ran only enough speed to outspeed Pangoro. Yeah, it's pretty standard outside of that. Next up we got Scarf Hoopa, Hyperspace Fury is the thing I'm going to be mainly spamming, and then we got Ice Punch, Fire Punch, and Zen Headbutt for Pex and stuff like that. And last up, we got the Sub-Bulko Bewear. This is definitely one of my... I used to use this set a lot of Buzzwole, and I was like, you know what, he has a lot of physical daggers, you know, might as well try to take advantage of that. So, you know, it's like max HP, a lot of defense, a decent amount of speed to outspeed Mega Scizor, 0 speed Mega Scizor. So, yeah. With that being said, let's just get into the replay. Here we go. So, looking at the Elite here, I was just thinking, well, we all know if a man's got a Lando T, you're gonna lead Lando T. Or to be fair, I also have a Rotom Watch, and whoever has a Rotom Watch also leads Rotom Watch. But besides that, I just decided to lead Lando T here. I thought it was the safest thing here. You know, it beats a good amount of things 1v1, and it also threatens out some other things. Just like the only thing that would beat that lead is like Mega Scizor probably, but like I could get a Rocks in front of it. So that could be interesting. Well, Pangoro as well could also be a scary swap in though, but you know. So I do lead Lando T. Oh yeah, by the way, you don't see the chat, but he said hi, so yeah. He knows he's on YouTube. But anyway, Lando T comes out against the Pangoro. It is scrappy, so no Intimidate for me. So I was pretty certain he would Ice Punch here. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go Bewear right now. And let's just see what happens. You know, Bewear taking 8% from an Ice Punch, and then I just get the sub up. Oh my god, you know, like this Scizor can't do anything because like no superpower means he can't touch me, and if he does have superpower, you know, he's lowering his own attack. Like, come on, man, stay in. He's gonna go for U-turn, not gonna break myself at all, doing very little amounts of damage. Salazzle comes in, and I'm just gonna completely wallop it with that Earthquake. He does threaten me out though, but like. Damn, Bewear just came in and got a kill in like 3 turns. That was great. Scizor, he makes a very smart double, going to Alakazam, threatening out my Bewear, and then doubling out into Mega Scizor. I do go Landorus though, so I think I did catch him a little bit on that, but like, just because I got the Intimidate off. Yeah, he does go for the slow U-turn as I get up rocks, and he gets his Toxic Orb up on the Gliscor, unfortunately. Not much he could have done about that. He goes for Toxic here as I go for my own U-turn. So, yeah, we go to Kyurem here, and here's tech number 2, baby. We're just gonna go for that nice little sunny day, and yeah, now he can't stay in. Weather Ball is gonna come out here, do a nice chunk to Pangoro, and then that's when I realized, based on the Ice Punch damage on the Bewear, that this thing is Scarf. So I was like, well, I have to switch now. He goes for the Parting Shot though. He's not letting up any sort of pressure. He's not giving up any momentum here. He's gonna go into Serena here. I was just like, yeah, I'm probably faster, just because I don't think he has speed investment on Serena, so I just go for U-turn. I was right. U-turn to 28. I go to Kyurem here on the Rapid Spin. Here I was like thinking, okay, maybe he has high jump kick, so I should probably switch. I go to Lando again. Unfortunately well, no. He does get the power up here. Unfortunately, he misses the next one, though, which would have been a nice chip for him, because I would have been at like 30-some%. So that kind of sucks, you know. I just go for U-turn again. I go to Hoopa here to get the revenge kill. Doesn't have good switches just because his Pangoro is so low. And, you know, because I'm obviously going for the Words. I'm obviously gonna go for the hyperspace theory here because just even though Pangoro like 4 times resist, like it's still gonna get 2-shot by the hyperspace theory. So and his other mods don't really want to take the hit either. So yeah, Scissor comes in here. I'm just gonna go to Bewear. And he goes for the U-turn obviously because it's a Hoopa. Obviously want to go for the 4 times super effective move. Goes to Pangoro again. I felt like I should have stayed in there, but whatever. Because like Pangoro would have gotten like 40-some% off. Would have taken like 40%, and then I would have been able to Drain Punch and kill it. So like, I could have stayed in there. I was just like, you know what? I know he's gonna go for CC. I might as well just go for Sizzle. I'm just gonna get a Psychic off here, get a Spadef drop here, but it doesn't really matter too much. The amount of damage I did there indicates that he just has like 0 bulk. So yeah, he goes for the Shadow Ball here. Does 26. He switches out again. You'll see why he does that later. But he goes, I just go into Hoopa here and get a Fire Punch off. I was just basically predicting, like, hopefully he doesn't go. Because if he was Psychic, he could have gone for Psychic and killed my Kyurem. Just because like he got this Spadef drop with the Shadow Ball. So, I was like, I'm hopefully going to go to Hoopa and hopefully it doesn't Quick Signal Beam against me. So I just go for Fire Punch here. I knock it out. Glasgow comes in. I go back to Kyurem here on the knockoff. I'm just going to go for a Freeze Dry here, trying to get some, hopefully, on the Predictive Stay In. He does not fall for that, though. Goes back to Scizor, and he goes to U-turn again. Even though U-turn actually would not have killed my Kyurem. But, yeah, he goes back to Gliscor. At this point, I'm just going to kind of, like, sack Kyurem. He goes for Toxic. He misses. Yeah, I just go for knockoff. I just go for Sunny Day, hoping he would switch again. Unfortunately, he doesn't. He just goes for Earthquake, knock me up. Next up, we got Red Washer. So this is the bad part of the Sunny Day tech. Yeah, well, now my main check to Gliscor is now, weakened because of the sun. So that's kind of bad. But, we're going to get past it. So I just kind of sit there and spam Hydro Pump. I'm just kind of trying to wait for the sun to go out. I probably could have gone to, like, Lando and just, like, switched around a bunch, but... So I just spam Hydro Pump. He needs to start roosting at this point because, even with the damage nerf and sun, he's going to have to start roosting. I'm landing all these Hydro Pumps. I go for Pain Split here just because, like, might as well get a little bit of health back. And now here I'm just going to go for Hydro Pump again. He goes for the roost again. This is going to be doing like 80 some damage though. Yeah, 84. But yeah, he goes for the roost again, and Frodo is not letting it up. He lands 4 Hydro Pumps in a row. That's crazy. Rotom, he made it up. He made up for all the Hydro Pump misses he had in the past couple weeks. Against that Blacephalon, he missed twice in front of it. I forgive you, Rotom. You landed 4 Hydro Pumps in a row. I forgive you, Rotom. Thank you for finding your glasses. He goes anyway. Scissor goes for both ones, knocking me out. I just go to Hoopa here, and I just go ahead and clean the house. Zam is not going to be liking any physical moves, but surprise, he's actually Scarf Zam, which is why he switched out earlier. Unfortunately for him, Focus Boss did not find the KO, and I was able to take him out with the Fire Punch. So, in conclusion, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, I won, so, we love to see that. Yeah, I mean, this man has some really threatening mons. Thankfully, I was able to get past him, though, with some heat techs. Shoutouts to Sunny Day Kyurem and Subbulk of Bewear. But the main star of the show was actually Hoopa, unfortunately. I mean, it got 4 kills, so like I have to give up. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to stick around for next week where I get 6-0 by Darman and Changalar, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.